Alright YouTube, this is my 79 Ambassador Airstream. I got several videos on here, kind of a restoration process of this thing. I wanted to shoot one more video real quick. I just had one before this of these extra additional frame members that I put in. But what I wanted to show real quick was I just put these 2 outriggers in from Out of Doors Mart. I bought these. We just bought these because it was a lot easier to go ahead and buy them. They were like $12 a piece than to fabricate them. It just take up too much time for 2 outriggers. But this is what the old ones look like. I wanted to show what some of this stuff looked like before I replaced it. That's the bottom of this right hand side, which you can see the slot is from the slot down is gone, and that's the new one. And then back here in the rear is where I had the most of my damage. That's the divider between the 2 tanks, the gray and black water tank. That's all that was left of that thing. Not to mention it wasn't really much to it to begin with. That's the new one that's fabbed in there. I've actually connected a piece of plate, and it's welded to the base of one of these square or rectangle tubes up all the way to the front. And coming off of that now is a piece of 1/8 inch plate and a piece of angle to the bottom of it. It's also welded into this main rear cross member. That's where I had a lot of my other damage. That's where all of your septic plumbing and stuff comes through, all of your gate valves. That's what it looked like. It was same thing as the middle divider. It's completely gone. And these are just stamped, probably 16 gauge sheet metal. And made that also, fabbed that out of 1/8 inch plate and 1/8 inch angle, piece on the top and the bottom. Just welded it all the way on down. I don't know if you can see that or not. What I will say, be careful when you go to take the back end of these things loose, especially if they got a bunch of sag. Make sure you support them all the way down. I had some jack stands under the back of this thing all the way. And then I welded this rear member in first before any of this other work was really done, and went to put my pan on just to check. And I'm glad that I did, because I had this thing some kind of way just from sitting here. It had gotten a little angled on me, and I had to cut it all loose and redo it. So it was a real setback, but it's fixed now. Then the bottom of these outriggers, again, they're all ate up. That's where I've cut them off. They've got rot pretty bad. And then what I've done, I know I showed it in the last video, but I took a piece of angle iron, came off of the frame, and then cut it right there, and just left half of the angle curving all the way up, continuing through the curve. They're not like that from the factory, and it is a major improvement strength-wise. I've only done 3 so far, and I'm really happy with the way they're coming out. I've only got 1 or 2 of them where the top edges of them are bad, and I've got just a larger piece of like 1.5 inch angle iron to do that. The only other thing I've had to replace were these bottom supports. A lot of people ask about the rear end sag. This is really one of the only things you can see under an Airstream sticking out of the back is the bottom edge of these. And of course, they were eaten up too. And from the factory, you can see where I wrote on there large end, which is upside down, but it meant that the large angle iron on the bottom ended right there at that rear stabilizer. What I did was I took a piece of 3 inch angle and ran it all the way down, cut out around the jack, and continued it all the way into the rear axle brace. And before, you had a section from here all the way to that jack. It's got to be over 2 feet, and there was just no support. It was pretty ridiculous. And that piece of angle iron actually is just a piece of angle iron with the back edge of it. I don't know if you can see it down there, but it's cut off. It's been cut cut off all the way down, so you can see, if I look at it like that, that's how it's got to be, so your pan clears it. But it's 3/16 angle, 3-inch, all the way to the front. And I know a lot of people are thinking that this added a tremendous amount of weight, but I'm be very surprised if I added more than 200 pounds. All of this steel, if you could cut it to length and it wasn't awkward, could easily be lifted. This pile of remaining rectangular tubing that I have to put in, you know, if I could get my hand on it right now, I could easily, you know, pick it up. It's not a tremendous amount of weight added, which I know the point of an Airstream is to be lightweight, and I definitely tried to keep that in mind when I did this. So for the amount of strength that I've added, I think the weight that I've added was well worth it. So I'll keep you posted when I get more done.